So I have some opinions on Back 4 Blood. I did a review on it a while ago, just speculating what's coming out, went through all the features, and I gotta say, I liked what I saw. But when I finally got a beta key, I don't know, it was like something was in my gut, and it just stuck. And for whatever reason, I just couldn't install it. In fact, I will go as far to say as I don't think I ever want to spend any money on it. Now, before you beat me to death with the thumbs down button, at least have a listen what I have to say. So the first thing that really slapped me in the face when I found out that it was coming out was the price tag. The game sits at £50. That's $60 in US currency. Now, I know technically this is a AAA game and it's backed by Warner Brothers, but that's still a lot of money. And here's the thing. I know Call of Duty gets away with it putting a full price tag on each release, but this game, in my opinion, is nothing more than a remaster of Left 4 Dead. They've moved it away from the Valve engine onto Unreal 4, and yes, it looks very good and it's very polished, but at its core, it's still nothing more than a spiritual successor and a remaster. Now, I will be honest, maybe there is a little bit of bias on my behalf because I'm not the biggest fan of remasters recently. We've seen a huge flood of them in the market. Some of them have been absolutely amazing and have brought games that were originally great into the modern age and to a new audience. But now, this culture seems to be a standardization. This, however, can be all countered with one thing: the Xbox Game Pass. This game is getting released onto their platform, meaning that you only have to pay a monthly subscription. So my whole argument of it being very expensive, I guess, can be null and voided. So while I was studying the footage and going through everything on this game, there was something tickling at the back of my mind. Something telling me that I've seen this before. And then it suddenly dawned on me where I'd seen this before. The same pattern, the same price, the same model. It was Evolve, the co-op hunting game where you had class-based hunters hunting unique monsters which were all player-controlled. And then to my shock and horror, I thought I had seen these names before because they're both made by Turtle Rock Studios. It was like a giant wave of deja vu. It was happening all over again. So I started shoveling up articles on Evolve to see what happened, and the similarities to what's going on with Back 4 Blood were a little bit startling. The game was released for $60. You got a set amount of classes and heroes, and you got the base game. But if you wanted extended maps, you wanted new monsters, you had to pay for the additional DLCs. And instead of a $60 game, you're now paying for a $100 game, a $120 game, a $140 game. Where does it end? And this is how Evolve died. Now, they did try and do a free-to-play version, and there was a massive resurgence of the player base again, but months shortly after, it soon died and withered away. Uh-oh, this is beginning to sound a little bit familiar. A game with heroes-based classes, a large upfront cost on their original base game, and confirmed DLCs that will be released later down the line. Before someone interjects and says, well, there's a new DLC system coming in and it means that only one person needs to own the DLC for everyone to get access to the game. But what happens if you don't have that person or you want to play the game on your own? You're still forced to buy these DLCs. You've still got the same problem. You've got a $60 game that has an inflated value down the line. I honestly at this point feel like it's a Scooby-Doo episode and we're going to get to the end of this game and we're going to pull the mask off Back 4 Blood and it'll be like, oh no, it was Evolve all along. And they say, oh, I would have got away with it if it wasn't for you meddling YouTubers. But anyway, let's continue. Okay, I know a lot of people love Left 4 Dead. They love Left 4 Dead. I had friends whose grandmothers played Left 4 Dead. It is a game beloved by many, many generations because it has such a good co-op experience and it's great fun and it's casual and it's very entertaining. So maybe you'll just be like, I don't care. Evolve wasn't for me. It isn't Evolve. No, Dom, you're wrong. I don't care about the DLCs. I'm happy to spend $100 on a game I love. But this leads on to my third and final point that I just didn't sit well for me. And I know it's a modern age, etc., and I should take that into account. But here's the thing. On the Reddit forums, if you look at Left 4 Dead, right, in the general replies, it's always, I absolutely loved the game, but I got bored eventually. What kept me playing for hundreds of hours was the mod support. They've cut it off at the head. Maybe they could introduce it down the line somewhere, and maybe they will. But for now, from what I see, this isn't a thing. Those silly skins that you used to see and be able to download off Steam, the new maps that they've implemented, they're just not there anymore. And without that big industrious community skeleton to support it, to keep it going, to keep it interesting, I just don't see it being a long-term thing. Where are the custom Helm's Deep maps going to be coming from? Where's Urban Fight? Where's Deathcraft 2? Where's the ability to allow the community to support the game that they love? There just isn't a system for it, and that's really concerning. You only need to look at the custom maps and the custom mods for Left 4 Dead 2 to see just how much people loved it, how much people loved to create silly and wacky worlds for the game. Now, I know you could go on and say, oh, well, this is, this is a global thing. This is happening all across the industry. But nonetheless, we have a game now that people have loved for years that just isn't the same anymore. It is a wolf in sheep's clothing. My last reason, and why I'm just not drawn to the game, I think, is just how safe they've made it. And I am purely talking about me playing this on my own. I will say there is some draw, like if, 3 of my friends would turn up and say, hey Dom, come and play this game with us, I will probably be strong-armed into doing so. But on my own, looking at it, when I was watching videos, I had to double check that I hadn't inadvertently watched a Left 4 Dead stream. There are just so many kind of overlapping feels to it. And while that's not a bad thing, because it is more of the same good stuff, I don't think the slight adjustments to the system are enough to really kind of give it some ooh la la. And if you have a look at other games that are, do the similar sort of thing, if you have a look at World War Z, for example, exactly the same principle. You're just shooting zombies and trying to survive, but they gave it much more oomph. It was more exciting. It was more blood pumping. And I don't know. I just don't really feel that. Now, I know I'm just one in hundreds of thousands of people. I know the beta was extremely popular. And, people are going to be like, oh, shut up, Dom. You don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you hate everything. But I really don't. But I'm not feeling the pull from Back 4 Blood. At the end of the day, I'm happy for everyone who is enjoying this game. And if you are getting some great times with your friends right now, and I probably will get some great times with my friends as well, good for you. I really am. But in the long run, I don't know. I feel like this is evolved, poking its big ugly head up again. Anyway, I implore you, let's have a great discussion in the comments, right? Let's have a discussion in the comments. I want to know your thoughts and feelings on this. Do you feel the same? Do you feel I'm completely wrong? Let's keep it civil this time, unlike my previous reviews. But have a great day, everyone. I hope you're well. And see you soon with some more great news.